Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the TAG Heuer Aquaracer 43mm. This has the Tortoiseshell bezel, and I'll leave a link in the description below to the TAG Heuer website to this exact model. So MSRP for this watch is $2,700, and it is rated to 300 meters of water resistance. So yeah, it's a very cool watch, and thanks again to Craig for lending this in for us to check out. Really appreciate it. This has a nice black sunray brushed dial, and again it has kind of the I think it's meant to look like maybe wood planks or teak planks. The Aquaracer is pretty similar. This watch is a bit large for my wrist, which you'll see in a moment here. I'll put it on wrist, but it does have the typical Aquaracer bezel. Looks very similar to the previous one I had in, that two-tone on loan from Saltzman. But this does have a resin bezel insert versus the one from Saltzman was a solid stainless steel bezel, but it was coated with yellow gold, 18 karat yellow gold. But anyway, the magnifier on this one works just as well as the other one. It's got to be at least 2.5 times magnification, and by eye here, I'm not really seeing any issue with it. Yeah, it's very, I mean, this looks like a nice piece of jewelry. It's very flashy, I guess you could say. It does have polished sides, brushed top. Again, rated at 300 meter water resistance. I think the star of the show for this is the bezel. Craig does wear his watches, so there's a little bit of scuffing on here, but I think he can polish that out, no problem. I really didn't wear it, and just, for picture and video. Also, like I said, it is a bit big for me, and it does have this adjustable strap, which Craig pointed out. You can lever this open, and then the strap can move in and out. For him, it was way down here. The depression was on there for his wrist, but I think it's kind of popped out now. This is a rubber strap. And, well, let's talk about the issue I had with sizing this. It is kind of infinitely adjustable, at least from this point down to this point here. But what happened is, even with my wrist, I can't move this up any higher because the strap is expanding in size here. So the distance between the edges of this from the inside, 18.3 millimeter, and then the strap, of course, is increasing in width from, I think it's 17.5 down here, and then it's 21.5 up here. So at some point you just can't push this down further anymore, and it's not quite to my wrist size, but it's a good system. And I don't think someone with a 6.5 inch wrist would wear this size watch anyway. But I do like that there are no holes in here, and this works well, this deployant clasp. Omega has a similar looking clasp to this as well, the dual pushers. And then there's these two barbs here that grab onto this cutout here. So anyway, back to the watch. Yeah, let's zoom in on this thing. This bezel is really cool. I seen Craig wearing this a while ago. I don't remember, last year, year before maybe, and I was impressed with this bezel. And it is made in the way that I assumed it would be. It's resin, so they mix this up and then pour it in, and then they must print this on and then install the bezel. It does have a Lume pip up here at 12 o'clock. There we go. These indices are nice and shiny to catch the light. And there's a nice splash of color on the second hand there, kind of a trapezoidal shape. And those are applied indices, and then TAG Heuer looks to be applied as well. Maybe they're printed. Let's zoom in some more. I'm going to say that's printed on. So TAG Heuer Aquaracer, caliber 5, automatic, 300 meter, 1,000 feet. And then Swiss made down there at the bottom. Let's take a quick look at the case back. So again, 300 meter, 1,000 feet, Swiss made, since 1860. and then automatic there. And then there's that old school dive helmet. All right, let's zoom out here. We'll talk over the dimensions, check out the Lume, and then I'll get this on wrist. Oh yeah, so this does have the Tag Heuer caliber 5 based movement. Tag Heuer caliber 5. The movement is based on either an ETA 2824 or based on the SW200, the Solita SW200. Okay, dimensions. Lug to lug, 50.2. Case diameter, I'm getting 43.7. And then if I take the minimum distance of this bezel, it's 43 millimeters. So I think that's where they get the 43 from on their website. And this has, see, I think what, 12 sides. So yeah, just measured from this point here, which would be the shortest distance. Okay, thickness looking at 12.7, which really is not that thick considering it's rated at 300 meters of water resistance. And then lug width, as I mentioned, 21.5. And then the strap does taper down to 17.5. 7mm crown. And that is a signed crown with the Tag Heuer shield. This one actually lines up pretty good. I think it's just a coincidence. It lines up on my Submariner too, but it's not intended to do that. It's just kind of look at the draw. Oh, and the weight on this, 135 grams. This rubber strap is nice, and it's got this alligator pattern to it. I have not really seen that before, at least not in hand. It looks good. It feels good too. All right, let's get this on wrist, and then we'll check out the Lume after that. Yeah, so I didn't push it too much. I don't want to ruin this. It's not my watch, but I pushed it out as far as I think I reasonably can. Oh, and that is a signed clasp as well. Probably laser engraved. It's fairly deep. Actually, let me show you something. So it does have the deployant clasp system, but then one of the downsides of that is there's usually somewhat thick, but it's really not overly thick considering the thickness of the clasp and then the two pieces of clasp here. And it says Tag Heuer stainless steel. All right, let's get it back on wrist. But yeah, nice and easy to throw this on wrist. Don't have to monkey around with threading the buckle and tang through holes on the watch. You can just throw it right on like this. So here it is on my 6.5 inch wrist with the 52mm wristband. And again, lug to lug on this is 50.2mm. So I basically have 1mm per side on my wrist here. And let's see, it does move around a little bit, but it's the nature of a small wrist and a large watch. All right, we'll zoom out here, and then I'll zoom back in and compare it to my SKX. Kind of forgot about that. So let me know what you think of this watch. Is it too big, too small for my wrist? Looks good on Craig's wrist, but his wrist is, I don't even know, 7.5, 8 inches, something like that. If you have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. Greatly appreciate it. Like the video and leave a comment below. All right, here it is compared to one of my favorite watches, the Seiko SKX 009. And I've always called this a 42mm watch, but I guess some other places call it a 43. But lug to lug is around 47. And that's a 200-meter water-resistant rated watch. And it's a little bit thicker than the Tag Heuer. Alright, I'll pause the video and we'll be right back with the Lume. I'll try and compare both of these together. Alright, so here we are with the Lume. Tag Heuer Aquaracer on the left. And then of course my Seiko SKX on the right. Yeah, actually the Lume is good on this Aquaracer. It's better than the SKX. It actually surprised me a little bit. I mean, it is a lot more expensive, but Seiko has very good Lume. And also, hopefully you can see the different colors on the Aquaracer. The outer portions of the hour and minute hand. Also the tip of the second hand, and then the 4 quadrant indices here, 12, 3, 6, and 9. The outer indice is green, and then the inner ones are a bluish color. Yeah, nice watch. Enjoyed spending some time with it. And again, big thanks to Craig. And as always, thank you guys for taking the time, and thank you for watching.